matter what, we come together for the good of our constituents, and I'm proud and honored to lead the People's House of the New York State Legislature.
The health and protection of the human beings that live in our districts is our responsibility.
Senator Douglas's words for us today, I quote, "If there is no struggle, there is no progress."
If you want equity to happen, then this is where it happens.
All of us have a responsibility to the greater good.
The House will come to order.
Hello everyone, this is Assemblyman Angelo Santabarbara, and welcome to another episode of Assembly Update. I'm very pleased to welcome into the studio today Todd Garofano, who is the Executive Director of Discover Schenectady. We're going to talk about what that is and how it's been helping promote Schenectady as a tourism destination. With everything that's gone on over the years in Schenectady, I'm very excited to have you here, Todd.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
And we just talked about, I just mentioned all the amazing things that are happening in Schenectady, and that downtown area, just absolutely wonderful, the way it's come back to life.
There's so much momentum, and there was momentum before the pandemic as well. And when you thought of tourism before in Schenectady, you probably thought of Proctor's Theater, and that was probably about it. But since 2017, when the Rivers Casino project was starting to emerge, it really brought on this renaissance, throughout all of downtown, throughout the harbor, and so forth. So all of that is still happening. There's more to come, and we're just really excited about it.
And Discover Schenectady was sort of just a natural thing that I think we needed. It wasn't always around, but now that it is, I feel like, how did we ever do, how did we do the tourism part of this without Discover Schenectady?
So back before 2017, the tourism promotion agency for the county was Proctor's Theater, so they handled those responsibilities. So the casino starts to get developed, the renaissance is happening downtown, more hotels, more restaurants, more shops. And the county leadership got together and said, this is probably bigger than Proctor's now. We need an agency who's going to handle this. And that's when we were born.
Yeah, and I think that, tourism, with everything else that's happened, making Schenectady a tourism destination was definitely one of the goals. And I think we're there. We're seeing a lot of, we see a lot of people visit Schenectady more than ever before. And perhaps, during the pandemic, maybe there was a dip there.
Yeah.
But people were still, trying to solicit and tour our businesses. But the numbers are right back up, I think, right where we left off.
Yeah, so we finished 2022 above 2019. Everybody's been using 2019 as a benchmark pre-pandemic, right? So our lodging numbers, all of our key performance indicators on the lodging sector were all up above 2019, so we're excited about that. We've come into 2023 really with a lot of momentum. One of the things we found through all this was those destinations that had great outdoor attractions and opportunities tended to do a little bit better, and it opened our eyes as to how many great outdoor opportunities that we really have here, and we would market to those, precisely for that reason.
And among the investments, obviously the Mohawk Harbor, you talk about outdoor events, and I know they just announced Harbor Jam is coming back. Very well attended over the years, so I'm very excited to see that. Is that the largest event, or is it one of the other events?
Summer Night tends to be the largest summertime event, and drawing 15, 17, 18,000 people. Close off State Street. The county does a great job with their events department, partnering with DSIC, of course, and then we come in on the marketing side and do our piece also. So it really is a collaborative effort among all of us to really get those people in. But they've had some great named bands in the past. They've really kind of expanded it beyond State Street as well to include the J Street Marketplace and really make it a really family-friendly event.
Yes, they have, and I was excited to attend that. And it's one of those sort of Schenectady signature events.
Yeah.
You hear about events that are signature events in certain areas, and I think this one really is on the map. Those are some of the big ones. What are some of the other events? And I think you have ongoing programs actually that go throughout the year through Discover Schenectady.
Yep. Throughout the year, we're definitely coming into our busy time of year. Spring, summer, fall, by far. Winter, we always say we have to get creative and create our own opportunities. But we've got Freedom Park Concert Series over in Scotia. You have Music Haven up in Central Park. You've got the Kids Arts Fest downtown, Pride Fest. If you look at the calendar on our website, it'll take you a while to get through every weekend because it seems there's multiple events going every weekend long. And then we get to the end around September and we have the Italian Fest and the Greek Fest and the Caribbean Day all in the same weekend.
That's all a busy weekend, yes.
Oh my gosh, it's great. But I mean, if you love food, different drink and different music, and can get around to all of them, highly recommend it.
And I think, we just saw something on the news. Oh, the Pedal Paddle Run.
Pedal Paddle Run, that's a big one. That's back for the first time.
Yeah.
We also have Cycle the Erie coming back. We're fortunate to be right along the Mohawk River and the Empire State Trail, right? So Cycle the Erie is a cycling event that starts in Buffalo, ends in Albany. Their last overnight is actually in Schenectady.
Yeah.
But we'll have about 700 riders come through and spend the night in Schenectady, enjoy downtown and so forth. So
it certainly is exciting, and the good weather has
yeah.
thankfully come a little early this year, and that's good. I'll take it, and I'm happy to see these events coming back online. As you said, and maybe some of these events are returning, some are new, but through the pandemic, we certainly missed all of them when they weren't happening, and now I feel like people. We're seeing like record numbers of people coming out attending these events more than pre-pandemic numbers.
We've had, and we do a number of sports tournaments as well, and one of the ones that has really grown over the last few years is the U.S. Tennis Association does their East Regional Championships in Central Park over 7 weekends. So they start coming in June, and they're there, several weekends in a row. But they bring about 250, 300 players per weekend, and it ends up filling about 1,600 hotel rooms. Which for us, at the end of the day, that's really our mission, right? Is to draw overnight visitation into the county and boost that bed tax and sales tax and the spending in our local businesses. So that's one that's really come, that has grown over the last few years. We expect it to continue to grow as well.
And along those lines, also we mentioned just before the show, Film Schenectady. Along those lines, again, bringing new people in, filling our hotel rooms. That's been going very well.
Very well, and again, those are groups, and that's why we focus on that segment. And we have some unique assets in the county to help draw those people here. So Armory was the Schenectady Armory. We've rebranded that Armory Studios NY on purpose to really try to attract that audience. It is a certified New York State soundstage, which gives those productions a certain tax credit. Thank you very much. Those programs are essential for us, really competing with other states as well as other areas of the state.
And we've seen some pretty big productions, like you mentioned, HBO, Showtime, Modern Love was filmed there. I remember I played an extra.
Did you?
I tried. I had to check it out, so I did sign up to be an extra in that. It was very it was very interesting to me to see all the film crews and all the work that actually goes on behind the scenes.
And that was really important because that came right in the middle of the pandemic, and they were really attracted to the Armory because they could keep the whole production under one roof, and it really it gave them the opportunity to film on budget and on time.
And you mentioned the film tax credit, and it's there's nothing better for me to see legislation or funding that we do up here to see it actually at work back home. To see this is something we did, and now we're seeing the benefits of it back home.
It really means jobs for us. It means economic activity. We talk about legislation. Another one that's important to us is the matching funds program through I Love New York. For us, that means another $50,000 in our marketing budget, which when we match that's $100,000, which our industry, says for every $9 you spend, or every dollar you spend in tourism marketing, you get $9 back to the community. So that's a big ROI, and we look forward to that.
Yeah, and I'm sure, and I know there's some other exciting things happening in Schenectady, some other investments and some other projects happening that is going to just add to, as I said, just right where we left off.
Yeah.
And the addition of the trolley system, and and we have to mention our partners at Downtown Schenectady Improvement Corporation. You partner up with them, Jim Salengo and the team there. They do a great job. They
do a great job, and they really, in addition to all of their operational functions and keeping downtown, with the flowers and the beautification. They do so much with special events as well. So we support them in any way that we can on the marketing side, and and really enjoy that partnership. It's a huge collaboration among a number of different organizations: Metroplex, your office, our county legislature, City Hall. There's a lot of different groups that are out there trying to make this all work.
We're right in downtown, and I know when summer night's happening, we can barely get out the front door because it starts happening. They start setting up before we actually get out of the office. But it's great to see that people are visiting and staying for what's they may visit for the one event, but they actually stay for everything else that they find in Schenectady.
And that's what we try to do. So if we have a conference coming in, a convention, a sports group, we really try to educate those folks on what else is happening while they're in town. So they say, oh, I'll going to bring my family, I'll bring my spouse, maybe I'll add a day, that kind of a thing. So we market that way, but we also work with those other events and other groups to really expand the reach. And we're out there really trying to hit that 3.5 hour drive distance, which is really a sweet spot to have folks come in. Just one quick thing, we talked about groups coming back in big numbers. The holiday parade this year was amazing. And that was my first experience riding on a float in the parade and seeing the crowd from that view.
That is actually, and I forget what the numbers are, but that's another big sort of, in addition to Summer Night and Harbor Jam, that is another big event. And you mentioned winter time or colder weather time, and that's one that's very well attended. Even with some days it's been cold, some days it's been okay, but people still come out and still attend and still participate.
They really enjoy it, yeah. Yep.
And you will mention so many programs now and so many things. The website, let's just give that out, because I'm sure we missed a lot here. But we want people to be able to check out your website.
Yep, just discoversconnectedy.com. You'll find everything on our homepage. We have a great events calendar on there that you can check out as well.
And if people are actually visiting, they can stop in your office, right? And,
they can stop in our office. We're at 242 Broadway, Suite 102. We're not actually on Broadway. We're on Hamilton, so around the corner from Villa Italia. But we also have a number of kiosks, interactive touchscreen kiosks throughout downtown and throughout the county that really act as a mobile visitor center. So if you find one of those either at the end of J Street, inside Proctor's, over at the Scotia Library, you can really get a lot of information that you need right on those kiosks.
And I did have a chance to play with the one at Proctor's, and they have it as a map, has some things in it. You can even take a selfie.
You can take a selfie.
Like.
People love those.
And I always look forward to the great events that are coming this summer. But Restaurant Week has already sort of, I wanted to mention that because I know that's, out of all the restaurant weeks, I think ours is perhaps the biggest one, or the most advertised anyway. And
I think so, yeah. I mean, they do a good job. That's a partnership between the Chamber of Commerce and DSIC, and we certainly help with that as well. But that's grown over the years as well. And yeah, so that just passed, but we have some great events coming up in the summer and fall. And
your Twitter we mentioned as well. That's how I find out everything. I follow you on Twitter.
Okay.
So for viewers out there, at _Schenectady, you can follow you on Twitter, and you're on Facebook as well.
We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can find all those links on our website.
And most of your, I would say most of the things can be done online, but again, as you said, in person, people can stop in.
You can stop in, call our office. We're happy to answer any questions. I think by far the most calls and questions we get are about Van Gogh at this point.
Oh yeah,
still.
we forgot to, that's the other thing we wanted to talk about. Yes, I have it on my list here. So the Van Gogh at the Armory as well.
Yep.
I heard some great news just before the show. Let's share that with the audience.
Yeah, so Van Gogh has been here since last June, and really, the work that was done, and Ray Legier, the folks at the Armory Studios have done an amazing job with film and production, but it really kind of put the Armory on the map with all of these other production companies as well. So a site selector came out for Van Gogh, loved the site, loved the area, loved the partnership down there, so they started in June. But they've just extended now. You can buy tickets through the end of this June, but they have extended again. They have options through the end of the year.
And I do have to mention that they did a wonderful thing, an amazing thing to add that sensory-friendly day for individuals and families affected by autism and a number of other things that could perhaps provide a sensory-friendly environment for them. And they do that once a week.
Yep.
It's been working out great. They got plenty of new visitors, so they're doing their part to be more inclusive and welcoming, and providing accommodations for our citizens, our friends with special needs.
This is a global company. This production has been around the world. They absolutely love Schenectady and the folks here and everything that's been done for them. So
well,
it's a great partnership.
We're just about out of time here, but I want to thank you for coming in. People can visit your website or find Discover Schenectady on Twitter, as I do, or any of those social media platforms. We'll be seeing you back in the district at home. Thanks for making it up. And for viewers out there, if you don't know about Discover Schenectady, it's a great way to, it's a great first stop if you are planning to visit Schenectady today or throughout the year, and especially during the summer when all the great events are coming back. Thanks, and join us again here for our next episode of Assembly Update.